Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here. Today I'm going to be doing a book review. This is a book that I've been waiting to listen to the audio for quite a while. It's called Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke. It has special significance to me. If you don't know, I used to play semi-professional poker for a while. That was my thing for quite some time. And I think that thinking, as far as poker and stock market, doing options trading, really changed my mindset in the way that I think a lot. Annie Duke is a professional poker player. She did really well, I think like something around over $4 million worth of lifetime earnings, and had like a WSOP bracelet, a bunch of good achievements. She basically came into the scene, was mentored, tutored by a lot of the professionals that Howard's friends and him, and really rose up and became really, really good. So she wrote this book called Thinking in Bets, and the book is really about the poker mindset and applying it to life, which is something that I would think about writing a book about this. I've talked about this before. The book is essentially about something that I've talked about a few times, which is this concept of how, poker really teaches you to think in terms of everything in life is both a mix of skill and luck, right? And I've talked about this concept a lot. I'm trying to think of videos, but I've mentioned this in videos. I've done videos about talking about luck versus skill and luck versus hard work. And really, I think this book really summarizes this point, which is that in life, a lot of things are going to be a mix of skill and luck. It's not just luck, it's not just skill, and poker teaches you that, because you can play perfect poker, okay, and you can lose a particular hand, and you can play shitty and you can win based on luck. And so much of life, we think we win or we succeed because we did good, and we fail or we don't succeed because we did bad, and that's not true, right? What is really true is that you've got the right play, you've got the right things that you can do, all that you can do in a situation, and then a large percentage of it, in a lot of cases, is luck. And one of the things that she compares in the book is she compares poker and chess, right? Chess is a game that is completely based on skill. There's really not much luck involved, right? I mean, maybe the luck of the opponent that you're against, or maybe if they make a bad play, but in general, the better chess player wins always, right? But in poker, that's not the case. I think a lot of people tend to view life as chess. They tend to think that someone who's successful, well, either one of the things, they either completely attribute, or at least for themselves, and she talks about this in the book, is that they attribute their wins and their successes to skill, and they attribute their losses and their failures to luck, and then they attribute other people's successes to luck and other people's losses to skill because they're not good enough, right? That's the viewpoint I think that most people have in life, until you do something like play poker professionally, or you start to become good at poker, or even options trading, where you realize that what you have to learn is that you have to know what is the right play, and then not worry about the results, right? This is that concept of trusting the process, right? Of not being result oriented, but being a person who focuses on doing the right process. Because if you have the right process, eventually the luck will hopefully come. Sometimes it doesn't ever come, but it gives you the best chance at succeeding and winning in whatever you're doing. And so she goes into this concept, she applies it to life, and she goes really in depth. I think the book, does go on a little bit. It's a little bit more lengthy of saying the same point, but I can understand that, because it's such a hard concept for people to understand. This is why, like I said, I talk so much, emphasize this idea of trusting the process, why it's really my motto is trust the process, because you'll find all these places in life where you just need to follow the process and just execute, and then let luck do whatever it's going to do, knowing that you're going to maximize your results by doing the right thing and not judging necessarily by the results that you get, which is really hard to do. Definitely recommend the book, definitely something that is going to be valuable to most people in life. And like I said, it can change your entire outlook, because so many people are focused on the result, and they think that they judge their actions, and it actually gives you, if you judge the result to determine whether you did the right thing or not, what's going to happen is you're going to have negative learning. You're going to actually be learning the wrong things, right? And there's a lot of people that that have a very pessimistic view of life, okay, or an overly optimistic view of life, because they have focused on the result and that has led them to their actions. And so if they've gotten bad luck, right, they're basically randomly learning, because if they've gotten bad luck in life, then they believe that that bad luck came from their actions. Did I fail at this thing because of my lack of skill, or because it was just bad luck, right? You got to be honest with yourself sometimes, and sometimes it even makes sense to bet on it, right? She talks about in the book this idea of, like, if you bet on something, then you would be much more inclined to take an honest assessment, because you would have money on the line. You'd be risking something. Whereas in most times in life, we can just bullshit ourselves, and we can just tell ourselves that it was luck, or we can tell ourselves it was skill if we succeeded, without really evaluating it, right? But when you start thinking in bets, you start thinking these terms. Did this come from me doing the right actions, right? Or did this come from just luck? And that is going to guide you and help you to actually learn and actually succeed in life, because you're going to be making the right actions and right choices more often, right? So, and I'll sum it up by saying this, that, a lot of poker players never become successful because they, I've seen this a lot of times in coaching people, is that what they do is they basically play the game, and then they say, oh, when I played this hand, I had success, or when I played this way, or when I drew to the flush draw, or whatever it is, I had success, so I'll keep on doing that. And they're getting mixed results because they're getting the wrong message. They're not actually evaluating the play, they're evaluating the results. You have to evaluate the action and the process that you used more so than the result itself. So anyway, really good book. Check it out. It's called Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke. Highly recommend it. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button below. I'll talk to you next time.